I have family members that will come to church on Christmas and Easter, but not the rest of the year. Do I continue to invite them to come, or should I not pursue it if they don't actually want to go to church?
You know what? I have invited people to church, but only after I talk to them about Jesus. And so, I would not make church my my go-to when I'm talking to my family or my friends, and I never make church my go-to. And I understand the reasoning behind it, because if you're going to a church where the gospel is being preached, they're getting to hear about Jesus, and I remember when I was a young Christian, especially. That's just me. This is who I'm talking about. It's like it was so much easier to have Greg Laurie tell somebody about Jesus than for me to tell them about Jesus. And so I get that whole thing. But I realized not too far into my walk with God that my friends don't need church. What they need is Jesus. And so that's who I need to be talking to them about. And if they'd like more information, if they're kind of up in the air on what they need to do with Jesus, it's at that point that I'll say, hey, why don't you just come to church with me and just check it out? And so I make that secondary, because I don't want them to think that becoming part of the church is equal to salvation, because it's not. They don't need church; they need Jesus. And so if I had family members that didn't want to go to church, well, that doesn't negate me talking to them about the Lord and bringing up the Lord in their life. And so basically, when I'm dealing with non-believers, all the time that I've been a Christian, when I've been dealing with non-believers, I'm just living my life in front of them. And when I live my life in front of them, it includes sometimes reading my Bible in front of them, just living my life. And so questions come up, and when the questions come up, I don't talk to them about religion. I'll answer their questions, and then I'll talk to them about having a relationship with Christ. And a lot of times, the way that I'll kind of cement that into their thinking is by telling them about what Jesus has done for me. When the Bible says that you're to be a witness and you're to give your testimony about Jesus, we talk about testimonies all the time. The testimony is not about what you don't know, it's about what you do know. And a testimony is about you telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, right? And before people who are going to judge you. That's what a testimony is. And so when you're talking about your testimony, it's your testimony about what God has done in your life. And so you can talk to them about the Bible. That's great. You talk to them about answers to their questions. That's really good. You can even talk to them about what goes on in church. If they have questions about that, that's great. But what they need to know about is about Jesus himself. And so you don't have to get them into church to have them hear about Jesus. You're able to do that on your own. And so that's if I was in your type of situation where they didn't want to go to church, I would just be going, God, just open up the doors, give me an opportunity to tell them about you, and you open the door and I'll step through it. And that's what I would be doing.
Awesome.